Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire, with me, Bring It On. Let's port Neketaka. We've finally arrived. As you walk down the dock, your approach is noted by a cadre of heavily armored Amoa. Their leader briskly leads them to intercept you. The harbor master looks you up and down with pursed lips. She looks past you toward your ship.
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
The Amoa cranes her thick neck to look along the hull of your ship. Her expression conveys equal portions incredulity and pity.
Why do we gotta be farmers just because we're from Deerwood?
Are you a farmer?
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers too.
As her attention returns to you, the Amoa's mood becomes more formal.
I'm the harbor master, Kauha. I must ask your reason for docking in Neketaka.
I'm following a giant made of Adra. I need to see someone in the palace about it. The harbor master chuckles to herself, as do the women and men behind her.
Yeah, you do need to see someone, truly. I think it's the animancers in the spire you're looking for. To help with your head.
She taps her forehead 3 times, and casts a glance back to her companions. The assembled guards roar with laughter, and clap the harbor master in the back for her joke. Deep within you, you feel an uncomfortable roiling. You can't be certain if the sensation is physical or spiritual, but it immediately induces nausea and fills your ears with the sound of blood rushing through your head. Cutting through the din, you hear a familiar woman's voice speak. Each word comes slowly, following with what sounds like the chime of a small bell.
Show them. Show them what you are.
It really is important that I go to the palace. I need to learn where I can find Luminous Adra.
This city is full of foreigners looking for Luminous Adra. If you want it so badly, get back on your ship and head back out to sea until you have proper business here.
The harbor master gestures toward your boat. The women and men behind her nod and murmur in agreement. The nausea continues to build inside you, blood pounding against your skull. Again, the woman's voice. Again, the chimes.
I will help you.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
The roar in your head begins to abate. The ringing of the chime becomes clearer, rhythmic. 2 successive peals followed by a brief respite. You realize the chime is ringing in tandem with your heartbeat. You open your eyes. The harbor master is gesturing wildly, presumably to get your attention, and yelling in your face. But you hear no words, only the ringing of the chime as your heart rate slows, and slows, and slows, and slows.
Now.
What? What is this?
Run for it!
You got style, Cap. Worm-riddled, ship-sinking, flat-fucking freaky style.
Oh, thank you. Alright, we leveled up. Let's take care of that. Athletics and insight. I'm wondering just how valuable Inspired Defenses is going to be. I can see Ray of Fire being useful, especially if I boost my burn damage to use with Flames of Devotion. And since I'm on the front line, my own allies shouldn't be between me and the enemies. So I am tempted to grab that. But I'll hold off on that for right now, because we can always get a Grimoire that has that in it. In fact, we have one right now. I probably equip Aloth's Grimoire. So I think I'll just grab Inspired Defenses. When taking damage, gain an armor rating bonus against that damage type for a short time, removing any other Inspired Defense bonuses. So you get +1 armor rating for 3 seconds when damaged. It doesn't seem that good, but we're going to take it anyway. Alright, Adair gets Athletics and Streetwise. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab a Weapon and Shield style for him. So equipped shield's deflection bonuses are increased and grant an equal bonus to the character's reflex. Alright, Jody is Arcana and Religion. Let's go ahead and grab Barbs of Condemnation. That'd be good for any sort of boss fights or troublesome enemies. And Divine Mark does something similar, but does burn damage. I'm actually wondering if Pillar of Faith would be better, because that gives us more crowd control. Let's grab this instead. So cause down a Pillar of Divine Judgment, inflicting crush damage to the target and knocking them and enemies in the area of effect prone. It does damage and acts as crowd control. Can't go wrong with that. Alright, mechanics and bluff. Alright, so the Blind Affliction seems really good. I don't much care for Confused. So let's go ahead and grab a Curse of Blackened Sight. Drowns the target's vision in total darkness, blinding them. Which does all these effects that we saw. Minus 5 perception, plus 50% recovery time, flanked, minus 10 accuracy, and minus 50% range. Of course, they'll be immune to gaze attacks and can't use gaze abilities, but it is a significant debuff. I would gladly take it.
Yeah?
Alright.
Sure.
Yeah, not much care for the purple. Let's go ahead and change it to... Or sorry, for the green. I was thinking about doing purple. I think a dark red would look good on the whole. That looks pretty good. As far as the whole color, let's see. Sails. Yeah, I don't think we need green. Maybe like a nice dark purple, maybe? Accented by... with white for now. We'll see how that looks when we're sailing around the Deadfire.
It is not as easy as it seems to turn a profit in Neketaka, but there is opportunity.
Will do.
Rolls of fabric and garments of various materials are arranged here, from fine silks to spools of thick yarn. Let's speak to Ribeiro.
Need a fresh jacket or pants? Something more delicate? If you have a frame, I can fit cloth to it without fuss.
The tailor eyeballs your shoulder width, doing some mental calculation. Let me see what you have.
Take your time. I'll give you space to browse.
Oh, thank you. Alright, so he has Bardwin's Cover. So Steeled in Darkness grants Steeled in Darkness. +2 Stealth, +1 Resolve. During nighttime, this aura grants all nearby allies, excluding the wearer, a bonus to their stealth skill and resolve. That's interesting. Bardwin, an Orlan warrior from the Fisher Crane tribe, served Irglonfoth with distinction during the War of the Black Trees. He was infamous among the encroaching soldiers of the Deerwood for his rapid, daring raids into the hearts of their outposts, primarily under the cover of darkness. Bardwin's cloak, much like its former owner, is a practical thing. Dirt, moss, and blood have made the simple homespun garment into a mottled mosaic that seems to disappear amongst the rocks and trees. The frayed hem is silent, even when drawn over stone and dry leaves. With the Glenfathan defeat and the end of the war, Bardwin and his most loyal followers made their way to the Deadfire, where they plundered merchant ships for many years. This cloak is all that remains of the fabled leader. I think it's a solid bonus, but only at nighttime.
Huh?
Alright, which way do I want to go first? I guess we'll circle up this way, towards the shipwright. Looks like a nice dead end for us to explore.
I've got it.
Amid the barrels and boxes are crates stamped with the symbol of the Royal Deadfire Company.
Care for a fish or two, stranger? Today's catch, ripped straight from the hands of the salty wench.
The fishmonger lets out an accomplished sigh. Let me see what you have.
You'll find no fresher. Have a look.
Oh, at least it's an infinite amount.
On it.
Speak to Hunter next.
Welcome! Venturing out past the city. You'll want supplies, crab traps or the like for larger game, I warrant.
The merchant sizes you up and nods. Let me see what you have.
Of course. Take your time.
Alright, so I'll probably buy that just for the summons. The clay grub figurine. The small sculpture is made of unfired clay and is noticeably cracked in several places. It is a strikingly lifelike representation of a grub that succeeds at being as revolting as its subject matter. Oh, you can only use it 8 times total? Or 8 times per rest? It says once per rest. I'm gonna grab it anyway. This might end up being valuable meat shields. We also have this one. This uses 8.
Yeah, right.
Alright. We like that for now.
Will do.
A strong musky animal smell clings to the straw bedding. Welcome aboard, Levin. That's a good dog name. Nice, a +1 intellect. While Levin is following you around, you gain bonus intellect, and your party moves more quickly in combat. Zamar?
Dora, be with you in just a... Almost had it. Damn your eyes.
The sun-scarred dwarf gingerly picks at a splinter in his thumb, muttering.
Hazard of the work, really.
He gives up with a frustrated grunt, shaking his hand.
Came in on the sloop? I can hammer your ship together if you're apt to pay me for it.
Zamar bares his teeth and grinds them hard enough to sound over the noise of the dock. Having trouble with a client.
Aye. Captain Redora hasn't paid me for her commissioned firepower.
Zamar pulls at the end of his beard and winces.
While I'm up to my nose in debt, the wild mare gobbles up her coin. And now, pirates are holding my feet to the fire over some sham of a deal.
Zamar winces and tugs harder on his beard in self-administered punishment.
If I don't get Redora's payment, I might as well start carving my swallow net.
What kind of deal are these pirates offering?
One where I mend Principe ships and no others.
Zamar pulls his hair back from his face with both hands, but it only returns to its tangled configuration.
And here I'd have thought a shipwright would be eager for an exclusive contract. In particular, one with clients disposed towards getting their ships shot to shit and shot again.
Folk like that come by coin easy, only to lose it all again. I'm not sinking my business on the say-so of a pack of puffed-up bilge rats. Bastards are driving away business until I give in.
But why haven't you settled your differences already?
Because I've got a backlog of work through the next turning of the wheel. And I'm old, damn it. These hips won't carry me to the mare and back without a fight.
In other words, we need to go to the Wild Mare. Well, that's just fine and dandy.
Mare's a right popular place. There are worse favors I could ask.
If someone bought Redora's commission, would that solve your money problems?
Aye, but only once she fesses up that she doesn't have the coin.
Sifting among his beard, Zamar finds a black hair and plucks it out.
Call me a fool for holding out hope. She's an old client and a friend.
I mean, I guess there's no harm in this. It's not a disfavored disposition. If it gets me a discount on your labor, I could hunt down Redora.
You do that? A fair price goes without saying, Cully.
Zamar untangles his hand from his beard to link his thumb and forefinger with a wink.
It all comes down to blasted pans and pyres in the end, doesn't it?
Zamar spits toward the dock, pilings, and glances back at the work still to be done. I'd like to see your goods.
Oh, come take a look.
He steps aside to show you the contents of his crates. Oh, new ships. Oh, and this... Oh, cool. So actual sail upgrades. Oh, do these all have unique descriptions as well? That might be a lot to read. That is a lot to read. Okay. Trying to decide how I want to do this. They're not necessarily unique. So I don't know. I mean, the Mage Weave sails might be. So we'll read this. Worm Tongue is not unique. Yeah, some of this. So we might not read everything because they're not. And I'm pretty split about it. Yeah, this is so cool. I'm really liking the ship system so far. Alright. Let's just read the Mage Weave sails. And maybe the ship descriptions? So the Archmage Minoletta first designed the Mage Weave sail as a gift to a former companion, Jorius Mastermate. While expensive, the process has been replicated by several wizards, and these prize sails have become popular within the elite of the Adiran Navy. Then the Junk Ship. The Junk represents a method of shipbuilding unique to the storm-beaten seas of Roatai, and serves as the workhorse of the kingdom's naval and merchant fleets. Outfitted with large batten sails, this vessel can achieve surprising speed despite its size. The spacious hull is divided into several watertight bulkheads to prevent flooding, and each compartment houses a well-armed gun deck. The Junk boasts cargo space and armament unparalleled by even Valian galleons. Its tall-hulled rigging, however, present a large target for enemy gunners, and the softwood hull affords little protection from cannon fire. Requires at least 9 crew to operate. And the Galleon. This impressive ship has become the symbolic vessel of the Valian Republics. Originally constructed as dedicated cargo craft, many early galleons fell prey to pirates and privateers. Such a ship represents a considerable investment of capital. To deal with ever-present threats, modern shipwrights have sacrificed some of the galleon's impressive cargo space to facilitate expanded gun decks, turning the vessel into a heavily armed and versatile warship. Its heavy timber hull has been likened to the walls of a castle, though such protection comes at the cost of speed and maneuverability. Oh, it actually changes how long it takes to turn to port. Okay. Interesting. Alright, the Dhow. The Dhow has changed little since its inception in the days of Old Valia, where it performed a variety of roles from fishing vessel to warship. Its triangular sails and sleek, efficient hull strike a balance between speed, maneuverability, and durability. Its armament, while modest, is quite capable of standing up to both faster and tougher vessels. Though the design has fallen out of favor in the Valian Republics, the humble Dhow has a resurgence in Deadfire with the arrival of the Principe, who sailed the craft with the skill and tenacity of their old Valian forebears. And the Voyager. When the Huana of old set out on grand seafaring voyages, they did so in outrigger canoes. These multi-hull boats were fast and durable enough for explorers to reach the corners of the known world. The Voyager represents the evolution of the outrigger design. The twin hulls provide excellent stability, even in rough seas, and large triangular sails make the vessel exceedingly fast. Though it lacks the hull strength and cargo space of larger vessels, the Voyager is highly maneuverable and presents a difficult target for enemy gunners. Due to a lack of dedicated gun decks, the ship's cannons are mounted on the main deck. Twin chase guns allow the Voyager to engage enemies directly ahead, while a single aft-facing cannon provides a firing arc to the rear. Oh, neat. Okay. Unfortunately, we did interrupt what he was saying when we first approached. It took him a while to actually start saying it. I already clicked on him.
I've got it.
But it would have clued us in a little bit more on his quest before we actually accepted it.
Steady does it.
Alright, next we'll go ahead and clear out this bridge area. Swing by the cobbler and so. Yeah. Oh, we have to loop all the way around. Alright, let's do the back alley first. I'm sure it won't lead to any sort of combat. Queen's Berth District Home. Sinbel, Tiela, Wanaka.
On it.
Passersby have etched a varied selection of raunchy poetry and crude drawings into the brickwork here. Broken bottles litter the cobblestones of this narrow street. The air is thick with the reek of dog scat. Gross.
Oh? Ha! No! The gunpowder!
Alright, I'll stop. I'll stop.
Of course.
Yeah, I was debating on even trying to destroy it, because we might need that for a fight later. Assuming that there might be a fight in this area. Alright, speak to, Sinbil. Please no interruptions. Alright, Tiela?
That's close enough.
The young girl narrows her eyes and reaches for a dagger tucked into her back pocket. Her cheeks are sallow, she licks the edges of her dried lips. Even if she had eaten this week, you doubt she'd be in fighting shape. I say nothing.
You're just gonna stand there?
She slowly drops her hands to her sides and breathes a sigh of relief.
Can't be too careful. Queen's Berth has an edge to her.
What's a kid like you doing in the streets of Neketaka?
Nasenale. I've never had a roof over my head longer than an evening.
She cocks an eyebrow at you.
I guess cutting me loose was cheaper on my parents than a passage back to the Republics. Or a few bites of bitter squash.
You know anything about the local pirates hassling Zamar?
Ugh, if they're the same ones who robbed Radora blind.
She drags her threadbare sleeve across her nose.
The boss and his wolf sleep their fun off by day. But by night, he and his botso friends keep to the alley giving out bruises for coin.
She gestures off in the opposite direction. Well, farewell. I should give her money or something for telling us that.
Well met, stranger. If you feel like investing in protection, I'd be willing to trade iron for copper.
The armor presents you with a friendly smile. Let me see what you have.
Lots to see. Take your time.
She nods. Heaven's Cacophony. Gives +2 intellect, +1 religion, a shout of hosts. Launches a cone attack that can knock back and stun targets in the area of effect. An avenging storm. The druid becomes a conduit for the power of a storm. Any target they strike with a weapon, or who strikes them with a weapon, is attacked by a bolt of lightning. This crescent helmet pays tribute to the goddess Hylia. I know it's Helia, the Sky Mother. Its plumed coxcomb, made of feathers taken from a willing avian godlike, make for a dashing, daring display. The steel is etched with glyphs simultaneously representing lightning, the sky, birds, and swift travels. That explains why it's so expensive. Horns of the Bleak Mother. Gives +1 perception and resistance to resolve afflictions. And then +10 accuracy against beasts. No one knows for certain the true nature of the being known as the Bleak Mother. Some say she's the progenitor of 100 young. Terrible creatures that stalk in wild places best left forgotten, preying on kith and beast. Others maintain her domain is that of thorns and tangled roots, and that her children ensnare and devour those who wander off the path. Real or imagined, the mother is only talked about in whispers by those who trek darkened woods and brave the untamed wilderness. The fellow who wore this horned helm, however, spoke in boast. He claimed to have met the dreadful mother and slain her. These horns, he said, were proof of his deed. A pair of hunters would later discover the helmet in the heart of the Blackwood, its owner nowhere to be seen. Alright, Gatecrashers were in the first game. I thought they gave a huge bonus to resolve as well. It's a +1 might, and 15% chance to perform knockdown attack against target with critical hits in melee. Excuse me. And grants Reeling Blow. Cone attack that sends targets flying backward with a chance to stun. These heavy gauntlets easily outweigh any similar pair of plated gloves. The scallop knuckles are lined with lead, and the steel wrist guards are many times thicker than they ought to be for any practical purpose. Wearing them is like turning one's hands into bludgeons. Swinging them is a task unto itself, as stopping them in motion is nigh impossible. Yeah, I'm not going to buy any upgrades. I assume we'll just find a whole bunch here in the near future. At least I hope so. Alright, let's level up our friend Seraphin real quick. Sleight of Hand and Metaphysics. Alright, what else do we have? So I used Soul Shock quite a bit in the first game. And it might be worth it again. Or I do Secret Horrors, because it's faux AoE, so I don't have to worry about targeting it, I just throw it wherever I want. This would be good in conjunction with the Dare and Aloth. Yeah, let's grab Secret Horrors. So it causes enemies in the area of effect to believe their worst fears have been realized, frightening and sickening them for the duration. The sicken does what? Yeah, -5 Constitution, so they're easier to kill, and -25% healing received. We've seen a lot of enemies that heal their allies. Then Frightened is -5 Resolve, making them easier to hit. And then -3 to all power levels, which makes it harder for them to kill us. And they can't use hostile abilities, even better. Yeah, let's grab this. I do need to read more of these affliction descriptions because they have changed a little bit from the first game. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next episode, yes. I guess we'll just wait around and see if we can't find these pirates.
I shall.
Or we'll check out Queen's Berth District Home first. We need to remember to come back here at night. I wonder how many changes are going to be between night and day. If it's worth trying to make sure I explore it both times. Well, either way, gonna call it here for now. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.